Substitution.
Motion by Senator Weinberg, resolved that pursuant to Rule 17:3, Assembly Bill Number 2006 be substituted for Senate Bill Number 993, with which it is identical, and that Senators Weinberg and Gill be joined as co-sponsors of Assembly Bill Number 2006.
Senator Weinberg moves the substitution. It's a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, substitution passes. Bills on third reading.
Assembly Bill Number 2006, sponsored by Assemblyman Greenwald, Assemblywoman Keano, Assemblyman Eustace, Assemblyman Johnson, Assemblywoman Jacey, and Senator Weinberg. Reduces maximum capacity of ammunition magazines to 10 rounds, exempts firearms with .22 caliber tubular magazines from 10-round limitation.
Senator Sarlo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak on this bill. And I am proud of my record here in the legislature on gun control measures and have been a supporter for the 12, 13 years that I've been in the legislature. On this particular bill, I'm going to support the bill. However, there's a flaw in this bill, and I wish we had the opportunity or the time to fix it. And I understand where the executive is on this particular bill, but as I've learned in the last few weeks, those guns with fixed cartridges are become obsolete or become illegal under this legislation. And many of those are antiques, are lawfully abiding citizens, collectors, are used for hunting, and many of them have been passed down from generation to generation. And I am not aware of any instance where any of those are used by the criminal element in any of the terrible incidents that have happened in this country and across this world, whether in an act of terrorism or in mass shootings, because they are loaded, single piece of ammunition, time, one after another. These are all fixed cartridges, and I'm talking about guns with fixed cartridges of 10, greater than 10, between 10 and 15, whether it's 12 or 13. I don't profess to be an expert on all of the various manufacturers and the pieces, but I do know, and I know many of these folks. We all know many of these folks. I coach with some of them. They live in my neighborhood. They're Republicans, they're Democrats, they're union leaders. Some of them have been passed down from generation to generation. So I support reducing magazines from 15 to 10. I support the measure. It could be used, and it hopefully will be used, as a deterrence to stop the violence and the bloodshed on our streets, not only here in New Jersey but across the country. But as we're doing this, I've learned that there are folks out there that have them in a showcase or have them locked up, and it's something that their grandfather passed on to them, whether it's from previous generation, whether it was purchased, whatever it may be. But this is a piece that has not been and hopefully never will be used in any type of criminal activity. So I wish we would have gave those with fixed cartridges to consideration. I applaud the sponsors. I applaud everybody who has worked hard on this. And as I said, I'm proud of my record on this, but I would have preferred to be voting on a piece of legislation today that would have exempted all pieces that have fixed cartridges not to be included in this bill. Thank you, Mr. President, for giving me the opportunity.
Senator Gordon.
I am going to support this bill and am proud of the record I have in the area of gun control. However, I share a number of the concerns that Senator Sarlo expressed a moment ago about the inadvertent effects of this particular bill. There are many of our constituents who are gun collectors and have in their homes guns of great historic value, but guns not likely to be used in any kind of criminal event. I actually, with a constituent, went through some gun catalogs to see just what is being captured by this bill. The bill will make illegal the Henry rifle, the standard weapon of the U.S. cavalry in the Civil War. That has 15 rounds. It will make illegal the Model 1890 Winchester, 14 rounds, and approximately 40 or 50 other weapons of great historic value. And I only wish we had been able to carve those out of this bill, and I would hope that if this bill does become law, that we will approve an amendment to exclude antique weapons as the state of New York did. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Rice.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm going to support this legislation, but I have to admit that I concur with Senator Doherty and others. I know he had to go to West Point to learn what I learned in County June to get taken to the settlement, but that's all right. But the reality is that we as a legislative body, and I've been for quite some time, we respond to things sporadically over a period of time when it affects more so one group or class of people than others. And what I'm saying is that most of the gun laws that we are promulgating in the state of New Jersey does not get to the issues that people like myself and Senator Cunningham and others continue to raise that we think how to fix some of this violent crime. And so when you talk about gun collectors, I can tell you in the city of Newark and in my district in Irvington, we have a lot of gun collectors who value their guns. They'll call Crips Bloods, Latin Kings. They're not getting clips the way you say, the way they're saying here. That's why I agree with you. They're getting them elsewhere. And so you can take away the clips, you can give them 5, you can give them 1. Give them 1 bullet, they're going to still use it the same way for violent crime. And so I'm going to support this. But the problem I have is that too many chairs down here in these committees hold legislation that never come up for debate, whether you agree or disagree, that senators like myself and assembly person who represent some of these areas where this violent crime is taking place every day, a block or 2 from our legislative offices that you don't read about because it's so routine. That's the problem I'm having. So I'm going to support this. But I'm also asking the chairs of the committees, if we have criminal justice bill in, those of us who represent urban communities, particularly those of us from the Black and Latino caucus, give us an opportunity to bring all of this legislation together and try to take a long-term, holistic approach to addressing the problems so we don't have to keep coming back here talking about magazines and guns and the Columbine situation in Connecticut and Sandy Hooks that comes also sporadically. We want to deal with the everyday stuff. And I don't think it's fair for it to be senators and folks don't understand our needs. You need some help at the shore? I don't know the shore. Tell me what you need, I'll vote for it. Rural community? We know urban. And so I'm supporting, Mr. President, I'm supporting to the sponsors, but I agree with my colleagues, it's not going to make the kind of significant difference that we would like to think it's going to make. It may make a difference with a line of other things connected to it.
Thank you, Senator. I direct the Secretary of the Machine, please record your vote. All votes recorded, properly recorded. I direct the Secretary to close the machine for tally. Assembly Bill 2006, receiving 22 votes in the affirmative and 17 in the negative. I declare passed. Take use course passed bills. Bills on third.